All right, so this is home sweet home for the evening. Now, funny story. I got here, started unloading, and I was wanting to take some B-roll videos for this video, and I saw some animal movement and everything. I was hoping to catch that, and when I went to look for my tripod, a little fixture on top, that way it connects to my phone and holds it there, I left it at home. So that means that I had to use some bushcrafting and use my little squid arms and create a tripod as is. So this will definitely be kind of raw and you know, it might be a little crooked or something, and I'll try to work that out, but hey, this is what it is, right? Life in the wild. You know, not everything goes perfect, and sometimes we just have to adjust and overcome. So without further ado, let's get camp set up, shall we? First thing we need to do is get rid of any sticks, anything that's going to make our bed uncomfortable. Now we need to find some stakes. All right, that should do it. I know I heard a coyote. I thought I've been hearing them so far this whole time, but I kind of blamed it on creaking of the woods. That was definitely a coyote bark. This was my uncle's sea bag back when he was in the Navy. He asked me if I wanted it. I said, of course. How could I pass up a sea bag, right? Come to find out, It's just the right size for my wood sleeping bag. So it protects it really, really well. All right. I think it's time to make a fire. I was going to show you how I made my my firewall or whatever. Now, since it's on private property, not my property, I'm not cutting down green wood, so I'm going around trying to find a deadfall and use that. Now, that is not ideal because obviously dead wood burns, right? So we got to make sure that as we burn our fire and everything, that we're keeping an eye on the dead wood. Now, most of this is like a soggy, punky wood, so it shouldn't burn. It should just smolder if anything. All goes well. Now, I need to start our fire here because it's getting time to make dinner. So let me take it further. So as you can see, there's the firewall, and there's our little fire pit. Now we're going to start making a fire and getting dinner going. So we got our stick, fire stick, fat wood, whatever you want to call it. We've got good old Kephart with us. So I'm gonna make some feather sticks. Make sure it's gonna catch. All right, that should be good. That in there. Now, let's scrape some of this off. Okay. So I'd say that's probably enough. Don't you think? We got that all in one area. Mr. Denny sent me a gift last month. Very generous, very kind. He gave me a bunch of Strike Anywhere matches, like that. Now, if you recall, my video where I talked about Marvel's match cases, these things were originally designed because matches back in the day were Strike Anywhere. And here in Ohio, they've gotten really difficult to get. You can still order them online. Of course, it costs a lot because hazardous shipping and all that. But all right, you ready? Here, I'll show you. Look at that. Right there. Strike Anywhere. It's taken off. All right. Now I gotta move this to where the fire is. Okay, so what are we going to cook for our awesome dinner? Well, this recipe comes from, I think, 1920 or 1921. I'll put the details in the description if you're interested in the little box. But it's a steak recipe. So you're going to need a cut of steak. This is just a sirloin that I picked up. You're going to want pork jowl or salt pork. I'm going to use bacon. I'm going to put that on the fire. Let that start cooking up. Meanwhile, while that's cooking up, you can start cutting some onions, because that's another big part of this recipe. So I have my bowl here. I'm also going to be making potatoes. You want a little bit of flour, and of course, an onion. Now, I'm going to use my pocket knife to cut my onion. Now, it says in the recipe to cut them pretty thin. You want them sliced onions. Okay, so we have our sliced up onions. Check our bacon here. It's almost done. Now, while that bacon's finishing up, what we really want is the grease. So we got a pot here. So we're going to pour some of that grease in there. While that's finishing up, we're going to layer onions down in this grease. Steak and onions. Okay, so once you have your layer down, it says you want to cover it up. So we cover it up in our little scout pot here, and then we put it in the fire. And we wait for a few moments.